and welcome to another tutorial on Adobe InDesign. In this tutorial we're actually going to go through and look at object styles. So just for a quick recap, we've looked at our layers palette and we've created a page number layer so that we can overlay all our page numbers, and remember we can lock and turn that on and off, but our page number is at the top. We've created a grid layer and we've created a MyPix layer and a background layer. So in our example, we have put our background layer and we've used the effects panel to lower the transparency of that layer. If you remember, or if you first time joining us, originally this layer was very, very dark and really overpowered the images in front. So what we did was we selected it. We went under the effects and opacity, and if this is not showing up on your side panel, you can easily bring it up by going under window into effects, and we lowered the opacity of it. So in our case we've lowered this down to 40. So what we're going to do in this one is actually apply or create an object style. So if we select our picture and we've decided that we want to put a stroke on it. So we bring up our swatch panel, and again we can go under window and go under color. We can actually bring up swatches if we don't have that, and we're going to add on a black key line, and we're going to give it a 2-point key line. And now we're going to zoom up on this just to take a closer look at it. And then we're going to adjust some of the other items. So we're actually going to go through and add in another effect. We don't want to really change the opacity of this one or the transparency, so we're going to leave that alone. But if we look at our effects panel and we select on the right hand the pull down, and we're going to select a drop shadow. Nice easy little function that we can do. Sometimes this looks great, sometimes it's a little overpowering, so again, it's keep it simple. If we take a look, it automatically assigns an overlay or a multiplying background, and what this does is it darkens everything on the back and allows, but still allows the image in the back to show through. If we change that to normal, you would see that it actually starts to just darken it only, but we're going to leave it at multiply. And again, we can adjust the opacity of this, make it really dark, make it not so dark. We can even adjust the size, spread it out, make it smaller, etc. So we can fool around with this the way we want. Once we've done that, we say OK. Now we're going to go under the object and we're going to say, let's look at the corner options. So we're going to decide, or we've decided to actually adjust the corners for the top right and bottom left. So I'm going to look at this panel and I'm going to unlink them so I can make these individual, and I'm going to create a rounded corner at the top. I don't see anything yet, but I'll click on my preview and I now have a rounded corner. And I can do the same thing on the bottom. I can even do it all around if I would like. But for now I think we'll just try this, and we'll actually make them a little bigger on that edge. Okay, so we've now created a rounded corner with a drop shadow and a key line. Now the trick is we want to apply this to all these other images. So let's zoom out. Now, how do we do this? If we've done it to 1, now we have to go through and manually do it. Well, no, we don't. We can actually select that image, and we're going to bring up something called the Object Styles panel. So, I have it here in my side window. But if you don't see it, you can actually go under Window, down to Styles, and choose Object Styles. And the idea is that we actually create a new document or a new object style by just selecting the one that we've modified, going into this panel and clicking the Create New button. And I'll just scroll down and we'll see Object Style 1 has now appeared. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to right click it and just say edit it. And I'm going to give it my name, and I'm just going to call it Candids1. There. Now, I've done that. I can select any other image, and all I have to do is hit Candids1. I can select them all, and hit Candids1, and I've immediately put that onto the entire page. Now I could also go through and say, you know what, I want to use Candids1, and I'm going to create a picture box, and I select it, it's Candids1, and I do the same thing, or I'll just actually import into this one. And we'll take a look at this one. We'll pull in a grad photo, and we can see here, well, it brought it in, but it's not really fitting the size we want. So what we can do is we can actually go up in these two area right here. So if we take a look at that, this is the fill frame and fit content. Okay, so we're going to actually say fill the frame there for now. And we're going to click in our aperture, and we're going to adjust the image the way we want. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to go through and place the other ones. And we can see this already has our content or our object style placed. So let's place a couple more. Okay, let's just see these 5. So we have our content collector, and we're actually going to drag across there. There's one, another, and we're just going to place them loose for now, and a final one. There we go. Oh, one more. There. Okay. Again, we just select our images, and we hit Candids1. Now, the nice thing is we can adjust these any way we want. So we want to move them around and adjust. So let's deselect them and just do one by one. We're going to just do that one over here. Over there. We're going to actually shorten this one out. There we go. And this is a good one. Again, we're going to keep it within our margins. We'll scroll off here, and this one's going to bleed off the page, which is fine. We'll just shorten that up so it's a little bit easier to see. Or in this case, we don't want that rounded edge, so we're actually going to do it like that. And we have one more here, and this one here. So we've adjusted that, and we now have 2 pages of Candids. We can easily select this type box and option drag it over the side, and we can say this is no longer a day in the life. This is the next day. Okay, so we have now looked at object styles. And remember, if we want to adjust this, and we say, for example, you know what, on my Candids, I don't want this, I want to adjust the stroke. So I scroll up, and I say, you know what, I don't want a black one, I want a magenta one instead. And I want it 3 points. And this is the power of an object style. Once we do that, it automatically adjusts all those images at one time. We can actually go through and say, we want to adjust our corner options. We've decided that we don't like that rounded bevel on the top right, so we're going to use this a inset on the top right. So there we go. We now have a beveled lower top right, and we've changed it to a magenta color. So let's just take a good look at that, and remember, if we go to our preview, we can say go to preview, or we can do that by clicking the W button, and we now have a 2-page spread of Candids. So that is a overview of object styles for images. In our next video or in our future tutorial, we'll go through this for text boxes and graphic boxes. So give this a try, fool around with it. There's a lot you can do. Just take your time and enjoy.